If you're trying to get faster, you're trying to get stronger, and you're trying to stay injury-free, you've probably asked this question at some point. Can I run and lift in the same session or on the same day?
Quick answer is yes. There's absolutely ways to do it. There are ways to do it. And for most recreational runners, it's one of the smartest way to train efficiently. We actually have seen people dialing back their volume a little bit and increasing their strength, from 1 to 2 or from 2 to 3 sessions. And when we say sessions, we're talking like they can be as small as 15 minutes up to like 45, not huge chunks of time, but we see more and more gains from being able to balance both of those activities. It will actually make you faster.
So today we're talking about how to pair strength and runs, whether to split them into 2 different sessions, and which one should come first if you smash them together.
First up, why? Why would we combine cardio and strength together? Time efficiency, right? It's going to be a really good use of time. It fits better into busy schedules. You don't need extra days to do things. And because of that, you might actually get an actual day off.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How lovely. And your favorite tip of this?
Saving a shower. I love this. And we'll get into the order and everything, but running and then lifting. I'm warm up going into the lift. And on top of that, I don't have to come up with a whole nother outfit. I am certain that I don't smell good on the second session, right? Like I'm not fresh from an outfit standpoint, but I sure as heck am warmed up. And then the shower feels extra good.
Yeah, doing both can also be a performance boost. So strength training obviously improves your running economy. We are huge proponents of strength training, and it also helps your power output, and it serves a dual purpose of injury reduction. So our runners who are strength training have stronger muscles, which leads to better load management and fewer injuries.
Right, and generally it just helps you recover faster, right? Because if you have a stronger musculoskeletal system, you are going to sustain your cardio load better, which means that you can get back to working and get through that recovery phase and get back to that hard-earned fitness even faster and feel less like shit.
And there's proof of this too. So there was a 2016 survey that found that adding strength training improved running economy by 4 to 8%.
That is bananas. That's such a big number.
4 to 8% in endurance athletes. So it's very clear that we should be doing our strength training. The issue is just how to fit it in. So here's the big question. Do you have strength training and running in the same session or split sessions? 2 options here, right? So option number 1 is the same session. That means having these sessions be back-to-back, doing either a run and a strength or a strength and the run. This is the best for busy schedules and for easy run days. So we don't want to stack this on a hard day. This should be paired with an easy run in most cases. And there are quite a few benefits of doing it this way. You mentioned time management, time efficiency. Putting them together, you have one outfit, one shower, you're cutting a lot of those bits and pieces from your day.
Yep. And I'll say it again, I like that there's less total warm-up needed, because whether you're going from strength to run or run to strength, and we'll get into the orders in a second, but it really does mean that from a time standpoint as well, that you need less time to, start moving again because your body is already primed.
Now, there are some downsides, of course. The second session might feel slightly compromised, and that would make sense, especially if they're longer sessions or just your general, thinking about the load of fatigue that you're carrying going into a session. It makes sense that the second session would be a little less strong, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the only downside.
Yeah. One upside that we actually didn't mention, I will say, is you kind of feel like a badass.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa. I did both of these things at once. And it doesn't mean that they need to be done at 110% and you're totally tapped out, but it's a pretty big punch in your cool card that hell yeah, I did an hour workout and it was 2 different workouts slammed together and I'm better for it.
Yeah, huge motivation boost, huge confidence boost as well.
Second option, it's a split session, or I sometimes call these doubles, where you have one in the AM and one in the PM. These are always going to be better for higher quality training if you need to have quality sessions, and more experienced runners, because chances are you might be hitting it a little harder in both cardio and strength. So you're going to want to keep those a little bit separate. Benefits for this is better performances in both sessions because you're not inherently fatigued heading into the second, and that you really have more available energy for the strength work itself. So it might be a little bit higher quality. Downsides, as you can imagine, is that it might require a little bit more time and planning.
Yeah, and I think it also takes planning your fueling and your
Yeah,
hydration.
for sure.
So if you're going to split a session and you're going to hit something after work, you're going to need to make sure that you're appropriately fueled. And I would say that fatigue from a long workday is a downside, but not being appropriately fueled for that second session is always a challenge for our runners who split sessions. So something to think about there as well. So can you split sessions? Yes, you absolutely can. You can absolutely do running and strength in the same session, especially on your easy days. So that leads to the question of what comes first. Do we run first or do we do strength first if we're doing that session together?
General rule on figuring out which to do first is prioritizing your goal. If running is the priority, especially if you're in like a major build phase for a marathon, then running is going to be your priority and you're going to run first. If strength is priority, so you have a little bit less color in your runs maybe, you know that strength training needs to take a front seat for, let's say, the first third of your training cycle, then your lift is going to be first.
And there is some scientific proof about this as well. So in research in 2012, this research shows that endurance performance is negatively affected when strength training is done first due to the fatigue and neuromuscular demand, which makes sense.
Right, yeah. It's harder to run after you've overtaxed your muscles.
Yeah.
So how do we structure it? How do we put it together? Option A, first option, if you're looking at the same session, you're going to do an easy run, let's say 30 to 60 minutes, depending on your volume. Then you're going to have a short rest, like 5 to 10 minutes. This is where it's really important to make sure that you have some type of hydration. Hopefully you've taken it during, but if not, now's the time, as well as like a light snack, some carbs. We've got some protein. It's really going to help kind of power you through. From a strength session after that, right? So 30 to 60 minute run, quick little reset. And then you're going to lift 20, let's say to 45 minutes. We love it when these are going to be focusing on core and hips and glutes, single leg work, all of the things that we know are supportive movements to running. Why it works? Because easy runs don't overly fatigue you. They are aerobically inclined, which means you are delivering tons of blood and oxygen to your muscles. And hopefully you're somewhere in the training season that easy runs don't kind of leave a big mark. Strength on top of that, right? Secondary is going to build durability after that aerobic work.
Now, if you're doing a split day, you would do obviously one session in the morning, one session in the evening. We would say prioritize that easy run in the morning and then do a strength session at night. And this works because you have better quality sessions for both of them. You have the time to refuel and to recover, and you have more energy for your proper form and making sure that everything is tight on both the run and the strength session.
Of course, there are things of what not to do. First, avoid stacking. We don't need to put a hard run with a heavy leg strength back to back. It is not going to be productive. It's going to be counterproductive, right? You're not going to get benefits of really either because it's just too much intensity on intensity. We're also going to avoid doing strength to failure before a run. So we don't need to lift super, super heavy if we know that we need to head out the door immediately after. It isn't always the case that it's in that order, but if it needs to be at our 5:30 classes on Wednesday mornings, people aren't running before 5:30 in the morning. You shouldn't be unless you're indoors and safe, right? So you're going to head out after, but we are going to not go completely redlined during that strength because you're just going to compromise it. And finally, don't turn an easy day into a double hard day by either taking your easy run too hard or taking your lift too hard, right? We want to keep both of them a little bit more moderate because they are going to compound when you do them in the same day, whether you do it at the same time or split.
I can definitely see this one being a place where runners get tripped up because the idea of, okay, well, I'll get all my hard stuff out of the way on one day, right? I'll do my intensity workout and then I'll go do my hard lift. If I'm going to be sore no matter what, I might as well be sore together. And the truth is that just doesn't work in terms of how your body can recover and actually absorb that fitness is going to be compromised. So you're better off to split them and do these combined sessions on easier days.
The other way that we can tell you that to scare you from doing it is if you do too much in one day. So let's say you do a speed run and then you're like, I don't have any other day this week. I'm going to do my leg workout, right? That, unfortunately, let's say that's on a Thursday. That workout is going to take your body like 6-7+ days to recover from. So you're going to head into your long run. You're going to head into other quality sessions early the following week in an already compromised state, which not only, of course, is a greater risk of injury, but it also means you're not going to be getting good workouts in. So don't you be doing that double hard stuff.
So how can you incorporate this into your week? We recommend 2 to 3 strength sessions a week for most runners, and you could pair these with an easy run.
I also like it with cross training. So
Yeah.
being able to do strength in tandem with something that's non-weight bearing and not super hard. You're not going hard like a swim or a cycle. I love those two together.
So really, we're shooting for consistency here. And in a lot of cases, when runners are feeling like they don't have the time to do the strength work, adding it onto a run session can check that box. And for us, we would rather have runners do a 10 to 15 minute, even body weight only sort of strength session or core session, and have some consistency in the strength training than say, I just don't have time to do these strength sessions.
Yeah, absolutely. Key takeaways. Here we go. We're summing it up. Yes, you can and should combine cardio and strength.
So you're going to do run first for most runners because that is your priority.
Tackle split sessions if you can, right? Giving yourself a little bit of time in between. But if you need to stack them, you absolutely can do that, especially if it's paired with an easy day.
We're going to keep the strength sessions short. We're talking 20 to 45 minutes max, and keep them purposeful.
And finally, we're going to use our easy days to layer in strength work. We can't say this one enough. If you see an easy effort cardio day, think, I bet I could put strength after that, and see how you feel.
You don't need more days in your schedule to hit all the sessions that you need to get done. You just need to have a smarter structure, and this can really help you make it happen.
So try this. Try the stacking, try the splitting for 2 to 3 weeks, and notice how your body responds. Something tells us you're going to like the new flow.
And if you want more information on strength training as a runner, check out this video right here.